Hey everyone, so this is one of two games I played against Mikhail. Um, this is a game in which I played the USSR, and since the channel needs games from the USSR perspective, I figured I'd comment on it first. So Mikhail starts with unusual influence placement. This means he has Marshall Plan in his hand. So I have Red Scare Purge, so that's pretty much an auto headline. So we're playing with US +1, and he places his influence in Iran. So he leads off with Marshall Plan, places a bunch of influence. Action round 1, I coup Italy, and I'm successful. He plays nuclear test ban for 3 ops, takes Spain, and finishes Greece. I play independent Reds and attempt a coup in probably Iran. I can't remember. I can't see here. But it fails. US-Japan Mutual Defense Pact for 3 ops. 1, 2, 3. Indo-Pakistani War for 2 ops. I placed 2 in South Korea. Containment for 2 ops. He takes Thailand. So my play into Taiwan here was kind of stupid because for some reason I always think Taiwan is connected to the Philippines, but it's not. So that's kind of why I wanted to move towards like Indonesia, but this was just a mistake. The play in Jordan is so that I can get to the western section of Middle East. He plays UN intervention on Suez Crisis, 1 in Lebanon, and he finishes Malaysia. I would say this is a bit early to be doing that. I don't know why he's finishing in Malaysia, because Asia can't be couped. So there's really no reason to do that right now. It would be better if he maybe creeped through Pakistan so he could have access to India, or even like protected Panama by controlling it. There are better options than that. Okay, so he takes that back, and he moves towards India through Laos, Cambodia. So this is where I played Blockade. I mean, this is kind of a 1-2 punch because I played Red Scare Purge, reducing the number of cards he could discard to Blockade, and so he lost all his influence. Arab-Israeli War for 1 in Western Germany. I placed 3 in Western Germany. He plays Korean War, and it's not successful for me. And he places 1 in Western Germany. And on to turn 2. So I just kind of throw away Asia scoring. I also have Middle East scoring, but I don't want to play that quite yet because he has a domination. He plays East European Unrest, removes some standard influence. I control Western Germany. He coups North Korea with the China card, and he kicks out all my influence. I try and repair some of the damage. He's fighting me for it. I take control of what I can, South Korea. He takes control of North Korea. So, I mean, this is kind of scary because, you know, he has Afghanistan. He's probably going to have Pakistan and India. He has Thailand. He has North Korea for 2 VP. And Asia scoring was played this turn, so it may be redrawn like next turn. And it's going to be a whole lot of points for him. I increased my influence in Iraq. He scores Europe, granting me 3 VP. I play Romanian abdication for 1 op to take control of Iraq. He spaces de-Stalinization. This is probably a mistake by him because it's turn 2 and it might be redrawn next turn. I score Middle East, so that's the reason I spent a few action rounds trying to control Iraq, so that we'd be tied 1-1 in battlegrounds and he wouldn't score too many VP, so nobody gets any points. He breaks my control of Eastern Germany. So now we're on turn 3. I got de Gaulle, which is a nice card. I can pressure France. I could play de Gaulle, then on my first action round take control of France, and then he might, you know, on his first action round do something in East Germany, but that leaves me in a really good position in Europe. So he actually plays Truman Doctrine, which is a fantastic headline. So I play de Gaulle, and he kicks me out of Eastern Germany. So he's probably, I mean, he's going to get one of these 2 battlegrounds that are unowned right now. I take France and put 1 in Eastern Germany. He takes Eastern Germany. I play the China card for 5 ops, and I coup Thailand, and I own it. He controls Malaysia and Indonesia. Again, the Indonesia play, it's a little bit early for that. The Malaysia one makes sense because he wants to control as many battlegrounds surrounding Thailand as possible to increase his chance in the future. If he gets a brush war, this will give him basically a 50% chance of taking Thailand, assuming I control Vietnam. NATO for 4 ops, 2 in Algeria, 2 in Egypt. So this 2 in Egypt is actually a mistake. I mean, Nasser is still kicking around, so that's like my main way to control Egypt. Really, I should have put this influence in Saudi Arabia. That also makes sense from a DEFCON perspective because we're at 2 right now. So Egypt is a good coup target. Algeria is less good because, you know, if he couped Algeria and controlled it, I could realign him out at, you know, 0 modifier. So yeah, the Egypt play was a mistake probably. He plays Europe scoring again there after my play into Egypt and Algeria, and he gives me another 3 VP. Really, I should have probably prioritized taking control of a non-battleground in Europe so that I could have domination. You know, that would give me significantly more VP, but I was just prioritizing other stuff. I play CIA created, so we're at DEFCON 3, so this isn't a suicide for me. He puts the influence in Pakistan, and I coup Panama. So here, like, he plays Nasser. It doesn't even do anything for me, really. And especially because, like, I have this 4 influence in Egypt, which could be good. But then there's the mid-war card, Sadat. And that card basically just removes all USSR influence in Egypt. I play decolonization to pressure India, take control of Vietnam, Nigeria, and South Africa. He takes control of India with Comic-Con. And I play some influence. I send NORAD to space. He breaks my control of Italy with Fidel. I don't know what's happening with the log file right now. It's kind of like bugging out. It's not showing my hand properly. But anyways, I headline Junta. He headlines Special Relationship, and NATO is online, so he gains 2 VP, and he gets to place 2 influence in France. I place 2 in Venezuela with Junta, and I coup Panama. I play East European Unrest, and I recontrol Italy and France. He plays Cambridge 5, takes Mexico. I play Olympic Games, take Angola and start moving into Brazil. U2 incident, he takes control of South Africa. I generally don't like being in this position as him, as the US player, where the USSR player has Angola, and then you control South Africa, and then they have the option of taking Botswana and forcing you to coup it. I mean, it's not really a good country to coup because it's 2 stability, but you pretty much need to, because then the USSR player can realign you out of South Africa at +1. So with defectors, I control Zaire and Brazil. Arab-Israeli war, he controls Philippines, 1 in Burma. Latin American death squads to take control of Libya. And then this is the end of this log file, so I just gotta load the next one. But his play after my play right now was sending Warsaw Pact formed to space. So that's not going to show up when I open up the next log file, but that's what happens. So my hand is showing up normally now. I send our man in Tehran to space. He breaks my control of South Korea. He's trying to move towards Asia control at this point. He's kind of losing in most of the regions of the world, except for like the Middle East, but that's pretty much a good region for the Soviets anyway. So I play Sadat expels the Soviets, and I place 1 into Egypt. He plays Ananda, which I mean, he must have basically been forced to do, but this is quite a dangerous play, because him giving me access to Chile and Argentina allows me to control South America, as I do right now by playing Containment. And yeah, it seems like his hand is just chock full of, good Soviet cards. So he plays Liberation Theology, and I play some Influence. And he recontrols Mexico. I drew Red Scare Purge again, so I headline it. Playing this card over and over again is giving me a pretty huge advantage. I played it in the early war, and now in the mid-war again. He plays nuclear subs. Indo-Pakistani war for a coup attempt in Egypt. It fails. He plays de-Stalinization to control Egypt. And with the event, I pull out of Finland, Syria, and 2 out of South Korea. I control Jordan and put 2 in Saudi Arabia. So I'm building up for, and 1 in Israel. I'm building up for a Middle East scoring. I play arms race and control Saudi Arabia and Israel. He plays flower power for 3 ops and coups Venezuela, but it's not very successful. Brezhnev Doctrine for 3 ops. I control Burma and Venezuela. So here, I'm just gonna make sure I have control of South America whenever I can. Just because if he's forced to score it, it's just too many points for me. So I don't want to risk not getting as many points as possible. And I control Burma because I have to play Southeast Asia scoring at some point. Summit for 1 op, he coups Nigeria, controls it. Middle East scoring for 4 VP. I'm sitting at 12 now. He plays Romanian Abdication for 1 and tries to coup Zaire, but he fails. Him giving me Romania gives me domination in Europe, so that's something he has to keep in mind. Canada would probably be a good take for him. I play Kitchen Debates, and I move towards controlling Costa Rica, just so that I have another option, like for a good headline. Like next turn, if I draw Central America scoring, it's a nice headline, and I don't have to worry about doing work during my action rounds and then playing Central America scoring. I can play it during the headline. He coups Zaire with Panama Canal returned. I guess at this point, it's playing the card for the event isn't very useful for him. I play Camp David Accords and use the influence to control Costa Rica and recontrol Israel. On his turn, he sends socialist governments to space. And then on my turn, I play Southeast Asia scoring for 0. On his last action round of turn 5, he plays Salt Negotiations to pick up Red Scare Purge. So he puts DEFCON to 4 and then it moves up to 5. Which is, to be honest, better for me than him. Because I could realign on East Germany. So I don't really understand why he would make that play. So I'm going to headline Quagmire. He headlines Voice of America. He takes me out of all these. So his Voice of America play was probably because he was scared of South America scoring. If I headlined it, I would put myself to 19 VP, and then I could easily win from there. After seeing that I played Quagmire, it's possible that he should have used the effect of Voice America somewhere else. Like maybe in Europe, actually, because he should be scared of me realigning him out of Eastern Germany. But you know, it's also a good play. So from last turn, I know he picked up Red Scare Purge, and he didn't headline it smartly. I mean, his play made sense. So with my first action round, I can play Missile Envy, hope to grab Red Scare Purge, which I probably have a pretty good chance of grabbing because it's a 4-ops card, and then the effect will be applied to him again. So that'll be 3 Red Scare Purges in one game. That's not really something any player can come back from. And so it works. And he has to discard Cultural Revolution to cancel Quagmire. So again, it's possible that if he had a bad hand of only 2 ops cards or below, my play of Missile Envy to grab his Red Scare Purge could have just been a nail in the coffin, because then he would have to skip this entire turn. But he had a card to discard to it, a 3-ops, which is reduced to 2. I play We Will Bury You to recontrol South America. I gotta do this just in case he has South America scoring in hand. I don't want him to be able to throw it away for free. He plays Missile Envy. And coups Venezuela, kicking me out. I play Cuban Missile Crisis, controlling Venezuela and Saharan states. I wanted to control a non-battleground in Africa because if I get a chance, I'm going to coup a battleground in Africa, and then I'll give myself domination, which will be 4 points. So if something does go wrong in South America, I can count on that domination in Africa and probably a domination in Central America for basically a win. He coups Venezuela again with duck and cover, and he kicks me out. You know, it's funny because he's not placing any influence, which would make it a lot more difficult for me to recontrol Venezuela. He just keeps kicking me out. So that's kind of nice for me. I play the China card, control Venezuela, and I protect it a bit, and I also overprotect Brazil. At this point, if I just make sure I have this control in South America, and you know, he may be forced to score at this turn, or worst case scenario next turn, but if I score my South America for 10, you know, that's pretty much game over. He goes for a brush war in Venezuela. So, you know, this was he had a 50% chance of getting Venezuela here. If he did, then South America would score for well, it would only score for 2 for me until I took a non-battleground, at which point it would give me 5. But that's still enough. I mean, I'm at 11 here, so if I get, you know, 4 from Africa and then 5 from South America, that's still a win. I also have the points in Central America. I can't remember when Asia card was played. Uh, yeah, I think Asia card should be coming up as well. But if he had the Asia card in hand, or the Asia scoring card, it would be a nice amount of points for him. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. It would be 8 points for him. It would be 10 points for him. So that would be a lifesaver for him. But clearly he doesn't have it. So that's the way the cards come sometimes. I'm pretty sure the Asia card was played, or Asia scoring was played on turn 2, so it should be showing up somewhere here. But yeah, it hasn't shown up yet. So I UN intervention colonial rearguards, and I coups there. So now I have the domination. He plays South Africa unrest and coups Saharan states. So he takes away my domination, but I'm still getting 2 points from Africa. And I'm just gonna get it, 2 points. He plays Ussuri River Skirmish, places it in Burma and Thailand. So now he can flip Thailand with the China card next turn. Right now he can't because he's under Red Scare Purge. I send John Paul to space. And he does have South America scoring. He plays it. And that's the win for me. So that was my game versus Mikal. I would say that the Red Scare Purges were a huge game changer for me. Also the Junta, which allowed me to take this strip of South America, and then his play of Allende, which gave me this strip for the control. Fidel gave me Cuba. I got into Panama with I can't remember how I got into Panama. Oh, I couped Panama with the junta. Decolonization got me into Africa. And yeah, Asia was a huge source of points for him. So if only Asia scoring came up earlier, we would still be at around 10 points right now. But even so, I would gain points from Central America scoring. And also we'd be moving, so that would be, if I did score Central America, that would be 5 points, I think. And that would put me in the 15-point range, meaning that going to Light War I could win with War Games if I got it. Also, maintaining, more or less this current board position, I would probably win in late game scoring. But if he was able to take control of, actually, yeah, so he was almost going to take control of Asia. So it's possible that next turn, on his first action round, he would play the China card, take control of Asia by flipping Thailand with the China card, and then he would score Asia for just like a ridiculous amount of points. That would be 18 points. 9, 6, 17 points. Well, it would be 14, unless he also took control of Vietnam, which would only require a play of a 3-ops card to flip it. So, anyways, that was my game versus Mikal. See you guys next time.